Okay, I have an image from Jenny, and she wonders how to get rid of this shadow. Um, in my message back to her, I talked about bringing your client further away from the paper or the wall, and it will eliminate the shadow quite a bit. Also feathering your light, or bringing it a little bit more in front of your client, just a little bit. See how the shadows are really deep, and a lot of people like that, and I like it sometimes. But if you bring it around a little bit, you'll have less of a shadow. So, I would start by cropping this image a little bit differently. So I'm going to crop this way. And actually, I don't mind it being up there. Let's try that and see what we get. I like that pretty well. I don't mind cutting a little bit into Dad's hairline so that it eliminates. Babe, I'm making a video. Can you shh? Thanks. Okay, so I am going to excuse me, grab the color that is right here. This is, I think it's mocha paper. It's beautiful. And I'm just going to paint. So we're going to create a new layer by hitting Control J. We'll paint on that layer. And I'm going to paint at 100%. Oh, I'm on color mode from something else. Normal 100% and just paint it in. Same thing over here. Grab the color. We're going to grab a little further in. Nope, too far in right here. Blend it out. So to get rid of the shadow, I actually might, I don't know if I'll paint it in. Yeah, I'll paint it in. So, still have some funky lines going on right there. Okay, so a cool tool right here that I'm going to use to paint back anything I got on Mom or Dad over here is the art history tool, and it's this little arrow with the brush right here, and it's in your tool palette right here. And we're going to click on that and then click where we want to bring it back. So you look in your history panel, and if I wanted to bring it back here, I could click there, but I want to bring it all the way back to the top. And we're going to be on the art history tool right here. And we are going to flatten first. I don't know why it's not letting me. Oh, because I cropped. So go back to right after the crop. I forgot it doesn't let you do it when you've cropped. So we're going to bring back in Mom. Actually, I don't know if I mind what was going on over here. And we're going to make sure we bring back in all of Dad. Okay. So to soften out these shadows, here's one way you can do it. You can just grab it and pull it up into that, and it will blend it out. Maybe pull it over here, blend it out. So it softens. We'll still probably need the brush tool. Right here, I'm just going to pull this whole shadow up a bit because it's really deep, and I don't mind it on Dad's face, but the background is a little bit too much. So I used my quick select tool, which is this right here. I hit Q on my keyboard and painted on where I wanted, and then hit Q again to get a selection where I wanted it, and it feathers it. And I'm going to lift this up with a levels layer. And you can adjust the selection afterward, the mask. I'm going to paint back in that lighter part, probably at 50%. Where's my brush at? Okay. And paint back in that lighter part, and that darker part still needs to be pulled out just a little bit. So I'm going to hit the Q again. I'm going to make my brush smaller, and I'm going to paint in just where that shadow is from his head, and I'm going to pull it up again with the levels. And again, I'll have to adjust the mask. Probably at 50% again. Let's go 30%. Okay, so now I would grab this, there's still a little bit funkiness, flatten over here, and grab it and pull it to a solid area so it gets rid of anything weird. Let's see, I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to hit Q, kind of grab this. When you're on your quick mask tool, you want to make sure that you are at 100% and on black. So 100% and on black, and then I'm erasing here. So we're going to make sure we're at 100% and black, and then I'm just erasing by switching to white. Okay, I think we've got it pretty good, and you can adjust the mask after you do it. So again, levels, and we're pulling the tone up just a little bit. I'm going to grab this color and paint it on at a 50% opacity over this stuff so it blends out. Alright, so that looks pretty good. I actually think she needs a little bit more shadow over here, so I'm just going to 50% it behind her, and then 20, and just kind of blend it up. And he actually could use some shadow too, so what I'm going to do, because there should be a little bit of a shadow. Well, he's on the light side, so it doesn't really matter, but you could darken up around him by selecting him and then just brushing your brush a little bit darker right there. But I think that looks pretty good. The one thing you have to watch out for when you do this is banding. It actually doesn't look too bad. So, just because I can, I'm going to do what else I would do to this image. Whoops. Hit the Q. Be on black and 100% baby's face. I'm going to pull that up just a little bit. Make sure all of our whites are in there. Do the same on Mama. All the skin tones, I'm bringing them up. I actually want to pull up that side of baby's face even more, because we've got some really dark shadow. I would pop the eyes. I use a GTG, I think it's eye pop or something like that. And I'm going to put it at 30% and just pop it in baby's face here. And then I would sharpen the eyes. This is a Buffalo Baby sharp eye pop sharpen, something like that. And I also love Buffalo Baby's I don't know what I just did, hang on. Sorry. The shadows, which on this image, because it's already so shadowy, may not be necessary, but yeah, it's not necessary. But I like the depth of it on most of my images. Then I would do my finishing action, which you all know is Coffee Shop Blogs Peachy Glow. And because he's wearing blue, I would probably black and white this image. Mocha paper tends to make people look really red, so I am going to pull out some red. Again, I think it's a GTG action. Greater than Gatsby. His arm's looking really red. I'm at 30%, pulling it out. If you have questions about what I am doing fast, you can ask me. Sorry, this is not what this video is about, but I guess I shouldn't hum for you. I guess I must do that when I edit. Still pretty red on this side of baby's head. Then I would sharpen. I would suggest getting just a little bit higher above them on this image, because you can see up baby's nose and you can see nostrils here. That'd be just a little higher. Grab yourself a step stool or something. I'm going to invert my sharpen layer and put it on faces only at about 50%. I've shown you guys all my sharpen action. My phone is ringing, so I think that I am done.